This video is sponsored by NordVPN. Bismillah. Cranberry juice. Oh my goodness. I love this one. It's really cold. But this one is from Asda, and it's not that premium one. It's on the cheap side of things, but yeah, still good when it's really cold. But anyways, so in this video, what I want to do is I want to review a repo which was sent by, let's have a look. So today someone actually sent a repo as well. So I think, yeah, so this one, Currency Checker by Maximilian. And yes, I'm just going to go over his repository and give him some feedback, and you can see also how we're going to refactor things. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and subscribe. Also, literally take 1 second and smash that like button. Literally just take 1 second. So while I drink this again, Bismillah. Ooh, it's quite good, but a bit sweet. So by now you should have subscribed. And also, if you're not part of the community Discord and both the private Facebook group, go ahead and join. The community is growing over 50,000 people. And yeah, so this is where everybody comes together and we all learn about programming and yeah, how to become a better software engineers. Without further ado, let's kick off this video. So in here, I already have the repository cloned as usual. And let me just open up the README file. So I'm really interested in this. And right here, so this tells me that this is a currency checker, a simple Telegram bot that will send currency rates every morning and every evening or by request. Okay, and then it has a screenshot in here. So good morning, Maximilian. Today, currency rates, yada yada, the price, and then okay, cool. So this seems interesting. So let's just dive deep into it. I think the name I think is incorrect. Maybe something more descriptive. I don't know. Currency bot polar, for example, something that actually has a meaning of being able to pull requests every 10 minutes or every morning, as you said in here. So not maybe checker, but yeah, so minor thing on naming. I know naming is hard, but yeah, cool. So let's just close this, and you know that I always go and see whether you have tests, and if you don't, guys, like literally, if you so the next person that sends me their repo and they don't have any tests, that's it, I'm done. Literally, I'm done. Yeah, so let's just add some tests. Let's just make this series fun. Cool. So it doesn't have any tests, which I'm a bit scared. No, I'm just joking. But let's just close this and let's go into main and then Java resources. I think, yeah, this is some properties in here. So maybe, so why not just use application.properties? Probably don't need telegram.properties. But anyways, so I can see that's the bot URL, blockchain info, yada yada. All right, cool. So let's just close this. This is nothing. And in here, so let's just see, you've got, okay, so you've got com.currency checker, com.currency. No, this is wrong, right? So it's not com.currency. So I think what you want there is, so let's just change this to, no, so I want to change the whole thing actually. So Shift F6 in the whole project, and I think it's Maximilian. So Maximilian. Sorry if I misspelled your name incorrectly. And then currency checker. There we go. I think this is a better name, right? So the root package should always start with the organization, org.maximilian, com.maximilian, so on and so forth. Right, so let's just refactor this. And ooh, all right, so cool. So now this goes away. So currency.checker, and boom. So I think this is much better. Now you've got the service. So I'm more interested in the service, to be honest. Like the REST config, I'm not interested. Bot, currency bot. So this is okay. This is some logic. So let's also check this. So you've got currency bot, config. I don't think I need to go into it. Data, probably model, right? So probably model in here and not data. So again, so model. Then you have the service for some business logic, and then you have exception. So exception, maybe let's just put this also outside, just like that. And right here, let's just open exception, currency exception. Okay, cool. So the first thing I can see here is that probably this, I think you want this to be a runtime exception instead of a checked exception. So if I change this, I bet with you nothing will break. So here, runtime exception. What did I say? The code still compiles, right? So this is really nice. And I'll show you how we're going to improve this in a second. But in here we have config. So again, I said I don't need config. Exception, I think this is good now. Model, let's just ignore that for a second. And then let's have a look at this abstract class, shall we? So in here, abstract class. So this abstract class to me, so you've got protected final, the config and the object mapper, and then you are building the client, and then you have a constructor. So yeah, and then I think you have some extensions, right? So let's just click on that. And yeah, you've got two classes that extend this. So I think, so let's just go into cryptocurrency. Right, so the reason why you use that is because of this HTTP client that sends. So the other one, so let's just have a look at the other one. So this one here, crypto. And again, so this is the same thing, and also object mapper. And right, so I think these two classes, so this class, oops. So currency service, let's just open here. So currency service as well as crypto service, I think these are the same thing right here, same thing, but yeah, it's the same thing, but the difference is that this object that you're passing right here, so the class is different, and maybe, yes, and maybe the URL. So let's have a look. Yes, the URL is different as well, and this is different, but the rest is the same, and also the message in here. So what we can do is actually we can refactor this much better and remove the need of this class in here. So this abstract class, because it's not adding anything here, right? So before we do this, actually, let me talk to you about the sponsors of today. What about if I told you that I know exactly where you live? What about if I told you that I know your IP address? What about if I told you that I know exactly what you do online? I got you there, man. I got you. So basically, having a virtual private network such as NordVPN, it means that you can browse on the internet privately. Just imagine, privately. And these days, privacy, it's so important to us, especially to me. To me, privacy is so important. So last year, I actually purchased NordVPN before they actually reached out to me. And that was because I needed to use PayPal, because I opened an account in America and I needed to access my PayPal account from UK. Now, because I was in UK and my traffic was getting blocked and I had, I think it was $200 in there and I couldn't access it. So what did I do? VPN. Which one? NordVPN. So after doing a bunch of research, NordVPN actually was the one to go for. Also, Netflix. Maybe you are interested in a series, for example, which is only available in the UK or in the US or God knows where, and it's not available in your region. Well, you can use a VPN to access that particular series. So everybody literally is using NordVPN, and currently what they have is they have a limited time offer of 72% of the 2-year plan, which is like, come on guys. And the best part is they have a 30-day money back guarantee. So if you don't like it, then that's it. You get your money back. As simple as that. I do care about security, privacy, and you should also take that into account if you are a software engineer. And yeah, go and check them out. The link will be in the description of this video. And as always, if you have any questions, please do let me know. So let's continue our code refactoring. So to refactor this class in here, what I'm thinking about is let's just have we're going to have a new package. So let's just have a package here, and we're going to name this package as HTTP. Then we're going to have a class. So class, we're going to name this as HTTP and then config. And let me just say, don't ask again, cancel. And the reason why I want to do, or actually I want to have a config is because of this guy here. So here you are constructing this object. And the thing is, if you want to test this, there's no way that you can basically mock this. So let's just take this, and within this HTTP config, let's just annotate this with @ and then config, or @ configuration. So in here, let's just basically say, I think what are you using in here? So this right here. So this is HTTP client from Java.net HTTP. All right. So public, and then HTTP client from Java.net. And here we're going to construct this guy like that. And then we can return. So return HTTP client, and then boom. So if you want to pass some configuration in here as well, you can do it. And here, let's just annotate this, whoops, with @ and then bean, so that this is initialized and we can inject it everywhere. And also we can just inline this, just like that, and job done. Now, one thing here, so the connection timeout, I think this is too long. I don't think that should be at 2 minutes, maybe 1 minute. And obviously you can configure this more, but I think this is it, right? Now that we have this bean right here, let's now focus on refactoring. So this guy, so I want to refactor cryptocurrency service here. So this class in here, which I think we can do better than this. So let me just put this like this, so you can see everything in one line. There we go. And the same here. All right, cool. So as I said, the only difference here is the URL that I can see, and also this class. The rest is the same. So what we're going to do is, let's just take everything and let's just go back to this package. Let's create a new class, and I'm going to call it HTTP maybe service, or HTTP client wrapper maybe. I'll leave that up to you because naming is hard. So there we go. And in here, so this will be @ and probably component. And let's just paste this method. So this is how we're going to refactor things. So usually what I like to do is, so here, what I'm thinking is, because we want to reuse this method for both cryptocurrency as well as currency service right here. So what we can do is we can change this and say, right, so here we want to work with generics. So generics, just like that, T, and then the data type will be T in here. So this is what I want to do. And this is because, right in here, so this HTTP client, so which we need to inject, by the way. So private final HTTP client. So that'll be the one that we've just instantiated, and also private final, and then object mapper. So I just saw object mapper in here. So let's just add these to constructor, and there we go. Cool. So right, so here then basically return read value, but instead what I want to do is I want to be able to pass a class in here. So this will be class of type T. I'm going to call it class. So this is typical. So this will be the class in here. So class, there we go. And this works, right? So now this works because we are returning the same type. And if you look at, so if we look at read value, so this is basically how it's working, right? So you basically say T, and this is the data type or the class that you want to map your JSON to, right? So basically this works because we are actually doing the same thing, right? But we're just generifying things so that we can use this get method throughout. Then also in here, so what we're going to pass is the URL. So I'm going to say string and then URL, comma, and then pass the URL in here. There we go. And I think we are getting there. So have a look, this currency exception here. So you're saying throws currency exceptions, fine. But okay, so right, so let's just improve things here. So I think, so what we're going to do is the following. So if it's not equal to, so if it's not equal to HTTP and then status dot and then okay, is it okay? Yeah, okay, value. If it's not equal to this, we're going to just flip things. We're going to say, basically have a look, if else, so we don't need this, we could just get rid of that. So if it's that, we're going to throw an exception. Otherwise, we just basically return the read value. Then I think, yeah, so basically, because the message is different, so here let's also have, I'm going to say string and then error message, just in case you need to pass error message there. And this will be error message. So error message. Cool. So I think this is pretty much it. So you can see that now what we can do. So let me show you. So what we're going to do now is the following. So if I go to cryptocurrency in here, so all of this now, all of this can go like this. So we can remove the extends. We can also get rid of this for now. Let's just pass our private and then final and then HTTP, a client wrapper. There we go. And add this to constructor. And all of this, so have a look, all of this now can go like this. I can say return HTTP client wrapper dot, and then here. So what I need to do actually, instead of saying get, I need to rename this to just get, because we are performing a get request. So this will be get, and then the URL will be this guy. And we also need currency config. So private final currency config. There we go. Add to constructor. So we need that, comma, command P, sorry, the class that we want to convert this to. So cryptocurrency list dot class, comma, and also the message in here. So take that and then paste that, just like that. And you can see that, have a look. Now all of this can go, all of this, literally everything. And have a look how beautiful this is now, right? So you're not using a necessary abstract class, and things are much neater. And the benefit here is that you are able to test this. So even though it doesn't do anything, but you can basically mock all of your dependencies. Now let's do the same for, so this currency service. So this will be the same thing. So let's just get rid of the constructor there, and this goes. And we need currency config service. So private final currency config, or services config, maybe config, I don't know. But you probably have the reason why this is services. But again, just work on the naming there. And in here, so yeah, so we also need our private and then final HTTP client wrapper. There we go. Add these to constructor, bingo. And now what we can do is we can get rid of all of this, and we could just say return, and I'm going to say HTTP client wrapper dot get. The URL is this guy. Pass that in. The class will be this that we want to return dot class, and the message. So could not get currency rates, because I think the message is different. And correct me if I'm mistaken. And bingo, have a look. So all of this can go now. Isn't this much neater? Let me know. Let me know whether you agree or not, right? So this is it. And also let's just get rid of the imports, and this is looking good. Let's go back to here as well. Get rid of the imports. And if you want me to send a pull request for this on a branch so you can have a look, just comment down below and let me know, or just join, or actually just comment on Discord, and I'll push this stuff to you. Right. So I think this was the main thing here. So now we can get rid of this abstract class. We don't need it. And yes, and we have our method, which is using generics right here. And yeah, we just made things, I think, much easier. So and also, if you want to test this, you can absolutely do it, because here again you are injecting the dependencies using dependency injection. And I'm thinking about doing a video on solid principles, because I think it's really important that you understand this. And yeah, let me know if you want me to record a video on solid principles, maybe next week or the week that follows, basically. Okie dokie. So I think this is it. So, and by the way, the reason why I use class in here is because class is a reserve. Oh, can I call this class? Yeah, class is a reserved keyword, right? So that's why I'm calling it class. So that is it. Then let's just pick, for example, currency bot, because I saw you had some stuff in it, and you can see that nothing breaks, right? So, and because you don't have tests, I can't really make sure that everything works, but I'll leave that up to you to add the tests, and maybe I'll add some tests next time around. Right, so currency bot. All right, so this is our bot. Okay, we extend Telegram bot, so I guess this is a library that you're using. Yes, that's a library that you're using. Private static final. Okay, Russia code, so USA code. So I think here you need a better name. Which code is this? Like what code is this? And what this means? Like me looking at this, right? So I've got a bunch of questions, right? So what does it mean? Like, okay, so work on the naming and documentation. It's really important. If your variables can't really, say what they do, right? So again, here, private final, that's all good. Get global. So what is this? Oh, using Java util logger. No, don't do this. Just basically get rid of that, just like that. And we can use multiple ones. So let's use SLA for J. So this is the interface. So have a look. This is the interface, and with that we can plug any implementation. So logger, get logger, and then the class will be currency bot class. There we go. And things break. And by the way, have a look. If I press F2, it just takes me to the next error. So logger dot, and then is it warn? There we go, warn. And instead of warning, and I can just select that, and then just say warn, and I think two birds with one stone. There we go, cool. So in this class, let's have a look. Okay, so these are some overrides. Let me just expand everything. Some overrides. Then in here, okay, so you have nested ifs, which I think you'd even need. So you could just say if update has message and update get message has text, and so we could just take all of this in here. Oops, just like that, and then paste that. Cool. So if this is the case, then we just want to do the inner side that you have in here, and job done. Have a look. This is neater, right? Cool. So let's just move in. So send message to. So send message. This is a class from Telegram. Okay, cool. So let's just have a look at this send message. And send message really, okay, you can pass the chat ID and the text. So here, let's just get rid of all of this and then pass the chat ID and the message. Just like that. Let me just make sure they are in the right order. Chat ID and the message. And then there you go. The other thing is we can move this inside. And also because this is so simple, we can inline. So we're going to try this. We're going to execute in here. And what we want to do is we want to basically, we want to catch. And I think you don't want to do anything with it. You just want to swallow it. Yes, because if you can't send the message, then that's it, right? So maybe you want to, so maybe you want to throw. So I think maybe you want to throw new. And what's the name of the exception that you had? Currency exception. Let's just say currency exception here, and then pass E or the message. So fail to send message to Telegram. I never used this API, by the way, so Telegram. And a lot of people talk about it, but I've never used it. And let's go inside here. Let's also override constructor. Here we're going to override this so that we can also pass the throwable. So I think it's comma and then E. There we go. And cool. And if you want to log something, you can always say log.error and whatever error that you want to basically log, so that you can find in the logs, so on and so forth. Cool. So I think this is good. Then send currencies to. Right. So you've got. Okay. So you've got to try catches, and then you send the message. So I guess the reason here is because the messages here are different. That's why you have two try catches. But just be aware that this is an expensive computation, right? So try catch is not cheap, right? And that's why actually if you want me to do a video just explaining why, just let me know. But let me just basically move on. So I think here maybe, so the messages, so you can do something better. So have a look. So here you kind of just concatenating things together, and what you could do really is you could just say, for example, var message equals to, and if you're using Java 17, just like that, dollar sign, or actually percent sign, or %s, my bad. And then you basically take this, paste that in, %s, currency rates. There we go. Then you have two new lines, which you don't need. You just put like 1 and 2, so two new lines. And then you have cryptocurrency message, so %s, 2 more new lines. And then you have, right, okay, and then you have %s. So now we could say dot and then formatted, and then we can pass the arguments. So here we can pass greetings, then get currency date string, and then crypto message and CBR message, just like that. Right, so this is your message. Then what you do is you get rid of all of this, and then you say message, comma, and there we go. So this is much neater, right? And then you could do the same here, which I'm not going to do. The same here, you can basically format this a little bit better. And you've got this method here. So get currency date string, try return zone date time, and then you catch date exception. Right, so I think here you don't even need, because this is the same thing, but what you're doing here is just a zone ID, right? Which is the same, the format is the same. So okay, so let's do this instead, right? So what we're gonna do is we're going to basically let's just try and refactor this. So here we're going to say zone ID dot get available zones dot, and then stream dot, and then any match Z. So if we have, so I think, yeah, so if we have this, so if it matches basically, so Z dot equals, so I'm just replacing what you have there. So then this gives me a boolean, so any match. So here then I'm going to say if, and then any match. So what I want to do is the following. So I think, yeah, so this is the default zone. So let's just take this, extract to a variable, and then I'm going to say zone, put it all the way up before here. So if there is any match on the zone that you are trying to provide, what we want to do is we want to basically replace that. So here, let's just say zone equals to, and then this zone that you have. So just like that. There we go. And then we could just take this, put it up, and this can go, the try catch. So you can see how we simplify things, right? So it's all about simplifying code, really. And then here, this zone is basically the zone that we've just passed, right? Cool. And obviously tests, just to make sure that everything works beautifully. And to be honest, this is it. So let's just have a look. So I think what you have is, all right, scheduling service. So this is the bot that goes every, okay, so yeah, okay, cool. So why do you need this? REST template, probably not needed, but every day 10 a.m. I like the comments there. Cool. And then same here, every day 10 o'clock, nighttime. That's cool. And then use to prevent a Roku from putting the application to sleep. What? Ping self. Whoa. Okay, cool. So I think this is just because you are running on a free tier. That's why you are pinging yourself so that the application doesn't go back to sleep. Or actually, I think, yeah, if you don't use it maybe for an hour or so, it goes back to sleep so that it saves some resources. But I think if you are actually paying for these resources, then that would never be a problem. Yeah. So I think here, so I think we can even use the class that we've just refactored, right? So here, yeah, so I think we could just say, maybe we could use, so private final HTTP client wrapper. There we go. And here we don't need REST template. And also this is bad. Like seriously, don't do this. Do not initial, like you've done the right thing here by passing to constructor. So while you are initializing this, and also it should be there, private, static, and then final logger, and just like that, right? So never do this. And I definitely have to record a video on dependency injection, definitely. So here, let's just add this to constructor, and I'm gonna press Ctrl G a couple of times, And you can see the keyboard shortcuts down below, by the way. Put everything on a new line. Oops, and I forgot one. And let's just scroll down in here. So rest template. So we don't want to do that. So what we want is, okay, so string class. So we want to say, so let me just close that. So we want our, so we want in here, we want to use our wrapper. So wrapper dot get the URL that you have, like that. And then let me put on a new line actually. So comma, new line, command P, the class, string dot class, comma, and then the error message, right? So in case failed to ping self. Cool. So this is pretty much it. So here I'm gonna say response body or just res, and we can basically pass res in here and get rid of this and res like that. Ooh, we are done. Okay, cool. So this was fun, to be honest. Quite interesting, the bot that you have built. And yeah, so as always, like with these projects, I could go on and on and on, refactoring things, changing and whatnot. And I mean, the thing is, I don't have much tests here to judge whether this is working, but I believe it because I saw the screenshot. But question now to you is, try and deploy these changes and tell me whether they work or not. Because I don't have any tests and I don't know whether it works, and I've used generics, but maybe I've got a bug, who knows? But please do let me know. Alright, cool. So this video was sponsored by NordVPN. Go ahead and check. The link will be in the description of this video, and they've got a 30-day money back guarantee. So you basically have nothing to lose, plus 72% off. Like, that is amazing. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and subscribe. Also, please smash that like button if you haven't done so. Join the community. Let me know what you want to see next, and I'll see you on the next one. Assalamu alaikum.